Hello guys, myself Herschel and welcome to my channel Knowledge is Power. Today we are going to discuss about the time travel. So let us get started with today's video titled Is time travel is possible? So it is very interesting topic for us to know that the time travel is possible or not. So watch the video till the end because the video is so much informative. So let's get started. We all travel in the time. We travel 1 year in time between birthdays, for example, and we are all traveling in time at approximately at the same speed 1 second per second. So, NASA Space Telescope also give us a way to look back in time. Telescopes help me see stars and galaxies that are very far away. It takes a long time for the light from far away galaxies to reach us. So, when we look into the sky with a telescope, we are seeing what those stars or galaxies look like a very long time ago. However, we think of the precious time travel. We are usually thinking of traveling faster than 1 second per second. That kind of time travel sounds like something you only see in movies or science fiction books. Could it be real? Science says yes. How do we know that time travel is possible? More than 100 years ago, a famous scientist named Albert Einstein came up with an idea about how time works. We called it relativity. This theory says that time and space are linked together. Einstein also said our universe has a speed limit. Nothing can travel faster than the light of the speed of the light. 1,86,000 miles per second. What does this mean for time travel? Well, according to this theory, the faster you travel, the slower you experience time. Scientists have done some experiments to show that this is true. For example, there was an experiment that used two clocks set to the exact same time. One clock stayed on Earth while the other flew in an aeroplane, going in the same direction Earth rotates. After the airplane flew around the world, scientists compared the two clocks. The clocks on the fast moving airplane was slightly behind the on the ground. So the clock on the airplane was traveling slightly slower in time than 1 second per second. Can we use time travel in everyday life? We can't use a time machine to travel hundreds of years into the past or future. That kind of time travel only happen in books and movies, but the math of the time travel does affect things we use every day. For example, we use GPS satellite to help us figure out how to get the new places. NASA scientists also use a high accuracy version of GPS to keep track of where satellites are in space. But did you know that GPS relies on time travel calculation to help you get around town? GPS satellites orbit around Earth every quickly at about 8,700 miles per second. This slowed down GPS satellites clock by a small fraction of a second. However, the satellites are also orbiting Earth about 12,550 miles above the surface. This actually speed with GPS satellites clock by a slighter large fraction of a second. Here's how Einstein theory also says that gravity curves space and time, causing the passage of time to slow down. High up where the satellite orbit, Earth's gravity is much weaker. This causes the clock on GPS satellite to run faster than clock on the ground. The combined result is that the clock on the GPS satellite experiences time at a rate slightly faster than 1 second per second. Luckily, scientists can use math to correct these differences in time. If scientists didn't correct the GPS clock, there would be a big problem. GPS satellite wouldn't be able to correctly calculate their position or yours. The error you would add up to the few miles each other, which is a big deal. GPS maps might think you home in nowhere near where it actually is. So, its summary. Yes, time travel is indeed a real thing, but it's not quite what you probably see in the movies. Under certain conditions, it is possible to experience time traveling at a different rate than 1 second per second. And there are important reasons why we need to understand the real world from the time travel. So, this is all for today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.